Now, 1A, it said identify the Roman figure 1 price per unit of the product before tax. Price per unit. I already said it before.
Price per unit before tax is $80.
Roman figure 2 quantity demanded and supplied before tax. Before tax. Okay, what's that, Aisha?
The quantity demanded and supplied before tax is 60 units.
Alright, Roman figure 3 price per unit of the product after tax. I've already explained everything. The price per unit after tax is how much?
The price per unit of the product after tax is $100.
Okay. The quantity demanded and supplied after tax, that's Roman figure 4, is what?
The quantity demanded and supplied after tax is 54 units.
1B, determine the amount of tax imposed per unit of the product.
The amount of tax imposed per unit of the product would be $25.
Roman figure 2, amount retained per unit by the sellers after tax.
The seller is able to retain $75 because he collected $100 per unit from the buyers if he removes $25 tax from it. He will have $75.
Number 1. Before I even read the question, look at that diagram very well. Look at it. Do you understand it?
No, ma'am.
I have seen it before, but I've forgotten how they do it.
Okay, that means I will have to explain from the start so that you understand it perfectly. The first step you are going to take is to get the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. You know how to do that, right?
We know how to do it.
Draw the demand curve and the supply curve. Where they intersect, you are going to, that's the equilibrium point. Get your equilibrium price and also your equilibrium quantity. That's the first step. And in this diagram, the equilibrium price is the $80, while the equilibrium quantity is the 60 units. Equilibrium price here is what stands as the price consumer paid to the producer before the imposition of tax. The 60 units is the quantity bought and sold before the imposition of tax. That is step 1. Get your equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity, which represents the price before the imposition of tax and the quantity before the imposition of tax. The thing you have to understand before the second step is knowing that the first person that pays the tax is to the government is the producer. When he pays the tax, the money he has at hand to produce has now reduced. In that case, he is going to produce less, and that's going to cause a decrease in supply. That is where you see that the supply curve shifts to the back from SO to S1. When it shifts to S1, a new equilibrium has been achieved. You will get another equilibrium position, and that is step 2. Step 2 is for you to get the equilibrium price, new equilibrium price, and new equilibrium quantity. The new equilibrium price in this diagram represents $100, and the new quantity bought and sold is 54 units. So in that case, that $100 stands for the new price the consumers are paying when they have imposed the tax. And the 54 units is the quantity the consumer buys and what the producer sells. The quantity bought and sold is 54 units. I hope you are getting it.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah, let's do summary. The summary is step 1, get the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Step 2 is that the supply would have decreased and a new equilibrium is achieved. Then you get the new equilibrium price and new equilibrium quantity. Step 3 is for you to know the actual amount that is taxed. in dollars. The actual amount that is taxed there is the gap between the SO and S1. You see the gap? That's the one I'm indicating now. You see the gap? The difference between the two figures is the tax. That is it. Know the tax. The tax is between that SO and S1, which is from $75 to $100. That is the tax per unit. 100 minus 75.
That would be $25.
That is the tax paid. $25 is the tax paid.